Hey guys, welcome back, or if you're new here, hi and thanks for stopping by. Today's video is the final piece of my Mother's Day patio makeover. I'll be making two beautiful DIY wall planters from a wood slab and a couple of glass jars. I'll also be turning two broken stools into some stunning side tables and of course, revealing the finished patio transformation. This project has been so stressful for me. I just want it to be absolutely perfect for my old girl. She deserves it and so much more. But yeah, with that all said, let's jump into these builds and I'll show you how the whole space turned out. First, I'm going to make the wall planters. I went ahead and played around with the spacing of the jars until I found a position I liked. I went to my local wood hobby store and picked up some gorgeous thin slabs of wood. I didn't want anything super wide because I want these planters to hang down the wall instead of going across. If you want to do something similar, you could absolutely go across the wall. Just with the space that I was working with, I personally chose to go down. And once I got the jars lined up where I wanted them, I went ahead and cut the slab to size. I gave them a quick sand, a wipe down, and moved on to the next step. Next up, I went ahead and cut some little blocks from the excess wood. These are going to act as little shelves or holders for the glass jars on one of the wall planters. If that sounds confusing, I'm sorry. I wasn't too sure how to word it, but you'll get what I'm doing in just a sec. And here is where you can start to see my vision. I attached these shelves with screws. I didn't want to trust just glue for this since these are going to be holding water, some rocks. There's going to be quite a bit of weight to them. So for some longevity and safety, I went with screws. By now, the hard wax oil has dried. I wanted to attach the jars to the shelves instead of just placing them on top. I thought if I just placed them there, they could fall off if someone knocked it or something like that. I don't know, it just didn't feel very safe. And I had some 5-minute epoxy laying around, so I just used that to secure the jars to the shelf. Once I got everything positioned properly, I left that alone for a while so the epoxy could set. In the meantime, I can start the other planter. For the second planter, I went with a different style. This one will have test tube type jars. Honestly, just thought these were cute, and the holders that they came with meant it would be easy to secure them to the slab. I was liking the idea of having 3 of these, but it just wasn't looking right, so I decided to just use 2. And to attach the holders to the slab, I used the same epoxy that I used for the first planter. These won't be nearly as heavy as the jars I used for the other ones, so I'm pretty confident the epoxy will do the trick here. I let the epoxy cure overnight and sealed the wood with some hard wax oil. Once the wax had set, I went ahead and attached some heavy-duty hangers to the back. And now that's done, I can add some plants. I'm a massive plant lover, my house is filled with them, so to save on some money, I actually propagated some of my own plants and then added them to the jars.
You take me there, you make me better. When I hold your hand, I leave the ground. Hey, you promised me, you said forever. Now it's you and me against the world, you and I.
And here's how they turned out. I had to hang them on my wall just to get the full effect. They look really great and will look awesome at my mum's place. Alrighty, now we can move on to the side tables. These tables are going to go alongside the chairs I refinished in my last video. If you haven't seen that video, definitely go check it out. I'll have it linked on the screen and in the description. So it's pretty obvious that these stools have had a hard life, but I never look at something and see what it is. I see what it could be. And I'm pretty excited to share this DIY with you. I start by separating the seats from the legs. I won't be needing the seats, so they can go straight in the bin. They're just some cheap MDF and they're all bubbled, so there's no saving them. First, I go ahead and use my saw to shorten the stools. I couldn't use my circular saw. There were some bolts that would have gotten in the way of my blade, and I didn't want to remove these bolts because I was actually using them as a guide. And these are actually the bolts that were getting in my way. I can now remove these since I won't need these stretcher pieces anymore. And now that the stools are dismantled and cut to the right height, I go ahead and give them a quick scuff sanding. This will help the paint stick better. And I've mentioned this in other videos, but I'll say it again. I always add clear coat to my paint. This makes the paint a lot stronger and a lot less likely to chip or scratch. However, it does mean I need to do an extra coat or two to get full coverage. I just find this way more effective than painting, then adding a clear coat afterwards. But yeah, from my own personal experience, I just find this way a lot more durable in regards to the finish. While the paint dries, I move on to the table tops. This slab I actually used on a previous project, but surprise, surprise, my son knocked it over and it broke. So it's been sitting in my garage waiting for me to repair it, but I decided I was going to use it for this project instead. And as for the table he broke, I can just remake that from scratch. Once I had cut the pieces to size, I then went ahead and gave them a good sanding to remove the previous finish. Then I went in and chipped out all the top layer of the clear epoxy. Clear wasn't going to cut it for this project. I wanted to go with a blue-green color so that these tables would tie in nicely with the chairs that they're going to be sitting next to. And now it's time for the epoxy. I used a few different colors to get what I was going for. I didn't want it to be too bright, so I added some black to the mix to give the color a lot of depth. I did let the epoxy cure for a couple of days and then I got to sanding. I went all the way up to 600 on these tops, and this would give the epoxy a somewhat of a glassy finish, which is what I wanted. And now I can attach the tops to their new legs. I positioned the legs where they needed to be and I used some screws to secure it to the top. Next up is the hard wax oil. Applying this really made these tables pop. They look fantastic. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to need both of these tables for the makeover, but I'll have to see what the space calls for. Kind of hope I only need to use one because these tables are bloody beautiful and I would really love to keep one for myself. And with these two DIYs now complete, install day is finally here. I'm so excited to see all this come together. I'm just going to shut up through the install and I'll let you guys watch the process unfold. I'm honestly so happy with how everything turned out. I poured a lot into this project. I managed to accomplish some DIY wall planters, the chair restoration, making 2 side tables, and all the fine details in between. It's been a huge project, but seeing it all come together and knowing it's a space my mum can now relax and enjoy makes it all worth it. Oh, and she absolutely loved it, by the way. She said she couldn't wait to sit out there this evening and have a beer, which makes me so relieved that she actually likes the space. But that is a wrap for this project. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up, and if you want to see more DIY builds and transformations just like this one, make sure you subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!